Many careers are stressful. You need to meet deadlines, deal with demanding customers, make pushy clients happy, and have technical difficulties. While work can be stressful, most people don't get put in life and death situations. Those whose jobs do put them in harm's way often choose these dangerous jobs. That's why it's so shocking that a typical truck driver found himself in a situation where he had to fight for his life. Jacob Cartwright was a truck driver. He started his job a few months earlier, and he drove trucks cross-country. His routes wore him out, and it took him from his wife and children, and he needed a change. When he found out about a local driving job with Little Trees Transportation, he applied. Roy Henry, the owner, was impressed by Jacob's priority to his family, and he gave him the job. And it wasn't long before he proved himself as dependable as the other drivers. When Jacob arrived at work one day, his boss told him that he'd be driving across Oregon from Portland to a small town called Nysa. The truck was filled with boxes. Jacob found it strange that the boxes were so light. What was in the truck wasn't his concern, though. His only concern was getting the cargo to its destination safely and on time. Because the boxes were so light, it made driving in the snowy and icy conditions a bit difficult. He knew a heavy load would help him stay on the road. He didn't want to drive too fast. He'd heard stories about reckless drivers getting in accidents in such conditions. He was worried about getting in an accident when he realized he'd made a mistake. When he glanced at his GPS, he realized he put in the wrong address. He quickly entered the right one, and the directions told him to get off the highway and take a detour on a service road, and that brought him on the windiest road he had ever driven on. Driving on the road was difficult because it was winding, it was slippery, and very little light peeked through the pine trees that lined the street. When he lost control of the truck, he did his best to regain control. Fortunately, the truck remained upright when it came to a screeching halt. When he revved the engine, he heard a loud sound, and when he got out of the truck, he discovered the tires were stuck. Jacob's first worry was that he wouldn't get the shipment to its destination in time. He tried to call his supervisor to let him know what had happened, but he had no cell service. He couldn't make phone calls or get on the internet. He had no way to call for help, so he had to sit and wait for help to arrive. When he started getting thirsty, he melted some of the snow and drank it, and as the hours passed and nobody came to help, Jacob began to get really hungry. He hoped and prayed that there was something in the cargo that he was transporting that he could eat. Jacob checked to see what was in the boxes that he was delivering and discovered that it was boxes and boxes of potato chips. There had to be thousands of bags in the boxes. Just as he was ready to open a bag, he realized he couldn't do that. Roy trusted him to get the product intact to its destination, so eating just a few crumbs would be wrong. He closed the trailer door, trying to forget the solution to his hunger issues were right in front of him. When Jacob realized nobody was coming to look for him, he decided that he had to find help on his own. He locked up his truck and headed out on foot. He trudged through the knee-deep snow and melted snow for water. When he got tired, he slept under a pile of pine needles. Days went by. Jacob still wasn't home. Understandably, Jacob's wife Devin was terribly worried. He had never disappeared like this before. She was sleeping on the couch when she woke up and saw Jacob sitting in a chair. She thought she was hallucinating, but she wasn't. Her husband was finally home. When Devin realized that it really was Jacob, she rushed him to the hospital. On the way there, he told her everything that he had just been through. He got checked out at the hospital. Unfortunately, there were no long-term effects. When Roy found out that Jacob made it home, he went to see him. His boss was very impressed that Jacob survived out there and didn't dip into the chips. Jacob has a tattoo on his forearm that reads, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." The tattoo apparently is really accurate. In his case, this delivery man refused to open his special cargo, even if it would have cost him his life. Fortunately, it didn't. He made it home to his family, where he recovered and returned to work shortly thereafter. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family.